Hi, we're Britt and Mike. We live full-time in our self-converted Ford Transit camper van with our dog, Leah. After finishing our build series and then spending 2 months on the road, in this video we're adding a few much-needed finishing touches to our van build.
Hi guys.
Hello, welcome back to the vlog. We left off having just pulled away from my parents' house and now, surprise, we are back at my parents' house.
Yeah, so we spent about 6 weeks on the road, really enjoying Southern California and Arizona, a little bit in Nevada. But now we're back. We are going to Coachella in in a week now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to Coachella in a week, and we're just going to do a few little improvements and finish up a few things around the van. So we've already done a few things that we'll go over and show you guys, but the next thing on the list to check off is actually to install a little trash can in the bathroom. I'm pretty excited for the solution that we came up with. Okay, so I picked up this little trash can on Amazon. It has a nice little cleat that I can mount to the wall and therefore mount the trash can on the wall and save any kind of floor space. And also we won't have to worry about this thing, you know, falling over or something like that when we're driving.
Cute.
It's like tucked up, just up, you know, almost the same profile as the door or the handle of the shower. It's not going to take up any extra space. That's great.
I think ideally we would have put it over this space right here since we already have like something cutting into our shower, but we actually put these hooks up in the shower as well to hang our jackets and stuff, so we just didn't want it to be covered up with our clothes. It would just be annoying to deal with, so I think that's a good place for it.
Alright, so next up on the list is to trim up on the edges of the tile here. We went with a sticker tile backsplash. It's been kind of a headache getting everything to stay down. I finally got all the edges to stick down and stay down with some super glue. So that was a great solution there. But on the edges, you can see there's kind of an unfinished line on both sides. And what I'm going to do is take some trim, cut it to fit in those sides, and I think really tie this off.
Okay, so it's a few hours later. Originally, Mike was cutting out this piece of trim, and we were originally only going to do the sides of the backsplash, but the way that this is angled, it just doesn't look right if you only do the sides because it sticks out a little bit from the countertop. But the way that it's angled also makes it sort of weird to do like a picture frame, like 4 corners, just the way that the corners match up. We decided to get something different, which is more of what we were picturing anyway. We weren't really picturing this like really bulky frame. We wanted something just really to just like hide the edges and seal it off. So we're going in a little bit different direction, but we think it's gonna look much better than this. Pretty.
The trick is to adjust your saw before you do the other side so you don't accidentally cut it the wrong way.
Yeah, comparing these to this is going to make a frame much nicer and easier, and it's just gonna be more low profile, so.
Yeah. The stuff that they had at Home Depot just wasn't as, there wasn't as many options.
Yeah.
And when I went to Lowe's, I was like blown away by how many options they actually had.
Lowe's supremacy once again.
So it is a couple days later. Now that we got the trim done around the tile backsplash, it is time to trim out here next to the bench as well as next to the bed. This is one of those little things that we just didn't have time to do before we left, but it's kind of an eyesore. This side's not actually that bad, but let me show you the side by the bed. So over here, not only is there a pretty massive gap, but there's also some spots where we got the wall with paint. We did tape, but we didn't get tape far enough back in there to stop the wall from getting some paint on it. So as you can see, I can fit fingers in this gap in a couple spots. It's pretty thick. And I'll show you what I'm gonna put on this. So I picked up this 3/4 inch roundover trim from Home Depot the other day. It was relatively cheap. I wanna say it was less than $5, and I got 8 feet of it. Should be plenty to do both sides. And we'll decide if we wanna paint it or not. The wall's white, the cabinet's gray. Typically you paint the trim the color of the cabinets. But that would require us going back to storage and getting the paint out. So we'll see if we like it with white, and if not, if we think it's fine, we'll just leave it. Okay, so I went ahead and cut it and test fit it. As you can see behind me here, I think it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the call to not paint this stuff and start installing it.
Okay, so it has been a few days, and just going back to the beginning of this video, we wanted to talk about some of the changes that we had already made that we didn't get on film just because they're like little small changes, really easy to put together, but they have really made a difference for us, especially when it comes to storage. So starting at the front of the van, and we'll move back. So the first thing is we got these like behind the chair storage, what are they called?
Like organizers.
We got like behind the seat organizers, yeah. And what they're really for, like in all the Amazon ads, is like to put on the back of the chair of the driver's seat, and then like the kids have, you know, somewhere to put their iPad and their snacks or whatever on a road trip. But that's perfect. We keep our iPad in one. And yeah, it just really helps with all those little things that it's like, where are we gonna put this? So we really like those, and it was pretty cheap. I think it was like $14 for 2. Next thing up is only about a foot forward, but it's our propane alarm. Before this update, we had a carbon monoxide detector and a smoke detector, but we didn't have a propane alarm. So because we have propane, we cook with gas pretty much at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, and we have a heater that's a propane heater as well. So we put in this propane alarm. It's an RV propane alarm. It's 12 volts, so Mike did have to wire it in. And that just gives us extra peace of mind. Okay, another thing that we're always planning on doing, but we didn't actually get to do it before we kind of finished our build series. So this never made it into our build series, but we did add a drawer underneath our bench, and it's really helpful for storage and also as like a pull-out ottoman. So we just pull it out like this. If you want to use it as an ottoman, we usually just pop a pillow on top or one of our fuzzy blankets, and then it also has storage underneath. Next thing is in the kitchen. We also always knew that we were going to do some sort of over the sink storage in our kitchen, because obviously we didn't want to put cabinets here, or we don't have the space to put cabinets here. The only place that we really need like nothing overhead is in our entryway right here. So right here we had plenty of space to put up some overhead storage, and we just got some little like wicker baskets and nailed them up, right?
Yeah, they're screwed into place with some washers, and yeah, that just keeps them pretty secure, and they can handle enough weight.
Yeah, so we have a lot of like random stuff, like stuff that you might want to grab on your way out or in, like sunscreen. We've got a bunch of treats and stuff for Leah, tissues, shopping bags, like that kind of stuff. Do you want to tell them about the next thing? Hi. Okay, so next so the next thing on our list was the water level gauges for our freshwater and gray water tank. We just put them right here so that they're easy to see. The freshwater one is installed and wired in, but the gray water one is not wired in right now. That one is less crucial for us to know.
I would rather be surprised with the gray water tank being full than the freshwater tank being empty.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do it at some point, but we thought this one was more critical because we actually did run out of water in Indio and we were surprised by it. So now we have this and we can tell exactly how much water is in our tank. Our tank is 40 gallons. Sometimes we don't fill it all the way up just because that is really heavy, but sometimes we'll put like 30 or 35 gallons in it. And so this helps us know when we are running low on water and also how much water we use over like a certain period of time. Like we can tell like, okay, we filled it 3/4 and now it's at a half. So in a week we've used X amount, that kind of thing. Next up, we've made some storage improvements in the bed area, which is Leah's favorite part of the van, as you can see. She just lays on the bed and looks out the window pretty much all day when we're not outside. So the first thing that we added were these like overhead storage. We call these our nightstands because this basically replaces like what we would have kept in our nightstand. We have like our charging cables, glasses, you know, lip balm, all that sort of stuff that you really just want to have like by you for convenience. And then the next thing for storage, we added these metal hooks. They are magnetized and they are very heavy duty. I think they're like, are they 35 pounds?
I think so, something like that.
35 pounds. I got these tote bags from the Eras tour. So I just hung the tote bags up here and it's really helpful for keeping extra clothing, really, like my pajamas and stuff like that. Or just like whatever random stuff you want to keep by the bed. So that's helpful. We have another one up here, but it's just, they came in a 2-pack, so we're not sure what to do with this one yet. This is a big bonus of keeping the doors metal. I know a lot of people cover them with like car carpeting or like wood and make them look pretty. And we had originally thought we might do something like that, but we just didn't get to it. And as we've been living in the van, like the metal just doesn't really bother us. It's a little cold if you touch it with your feet at night, but we just put like pillows in front and stuff. So I don't know if we're going to cover the doors. Them being magnetized is pretty cool. As you can see, we also have like all these magnets up here and we can just like decorate and make it feel kind of homey back here. So who knows? One thing I will say is, I know this is pretty ugly. Like you can see our insulation up here. So we'll probably do something to at least cover that or, you know, fill it somehow so that it's not just like literally looking at our insulation. But it doesn't really bother us day to day. So. And then one other thing that we have for storage back here is we have, it's like a dustbin for a laundry room.
Like a lint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to keep your dryer sheets or whatever. But it's magnetic on the back, and so it sticks really well to the magnetic doors. If you put it up really high like this, it kind of, the magnet isn't like the strongest, so it can fall down. So I just keep it down under the window. There's like a little cubby where it fits perfectly. And then we just keep like extra stuff, you know, like extra vitamins, whatever, random stuff.
Okay, so the last thing we want to show you is actually up on the roof. So we've actually talked about it in the past. We purchased a Starlink and it comes with a little mounting bracket that sits on the ground, and it's kind of annoying to have to put up and take down all the time, and sometimes you're just not in a great place to put a Starlink on the ground.
Like a Safeway parking lot.
Exactly. So we actually put a mount up on top of the van, and it's just located right here on top of the ladder. It bolts right on top of the ladder, and now the Starlink sits right here. I run the cable through the front window here into the van, and we have a much less conspicuous Starlink set up that way. So here it is, it's bolt on. This mount's actually kind of cool because you can actually rotate it to different orientations to fit for whatever need you have for like an angle or whatever. So I've got it mounted sideways, and yeah, it works great. The mount is permanent on top of the roof here, but the dish actually has to come down every time, put it up, take it down, whatever. It has to come down when we drive. Yeah, because we did not opt for the $2,500 Starlink that you can use in motion. But we just have the basic like $600 hardware. So it does have to come down when we drive. But we have a hotspot that we use on Verizon.
that has Verizon data for if we're mobile and Mike's driving and I want to use the internet or something like that. All right, so I would consider that a little epilogue to our build series. So thank you so much to everyone who did follow along with our build series. It was really, really fun to get feedback from you guys. And we're so excited to officially be on the road. We've been on the road for about 2.5 months now. So we have a couple of vlogs coming from that. We're having a great time and we're really enjoying the build. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for all of your nice comments to Mike. I know he did a really, really great job on the build and he worked really hard. So thank you, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.